You're listening to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast by RaderCo. I'm Marcey Rader, founder and chief productivity lead. This podcast's mission is to give you and your team bite-sized, time-saving, focus-boosting, health-improving tips that you can implement right away. Now, on with the show. I often get asked what my morning routine is. I definitely have one, but it does change depending on the season. Just tweaks here and there. Morning routines aren't requirements, but if you're trying to create a new habit, it's much easier to make it part of a morning routine because it's the best chance of following through. For 6 years, I went to Mexico for 3 weeks in February, and I would study Duolingo 15 to 25 minutes every day. If I didn't do it in the morning, I had about a 50 to 60% chance of doing it later in the day. As the day progresses, we are interrupted, plans change, or we just get tired. Someone else's agenda may become our own. We may get decision fatigue, which leads to reduced willpower. We may decide to postpone that habit, that run, that healthy meal, or that Duolingo game one more day. So here's my routine in September 2022. But it will I will tweak it a little bit as the weather gets colder and we lose light in the mornings and evenings. So I naturally wake up between 5:15 and 6:15 a.m. If it's past 6:30, it's highly unusual, and I feel like I've missed part of my morning if it's a weekday. I'm what the book The Power of When would consider a lion. A true early morning person, which means even if I go to bed at 1 a.m, I'm still up at like 6 on the weekends. And if you've never read that book, I highly, highly recommend it. I rarely use an alarm unless I have somewhere I need to be or I'm traveling. I don't start my meetings until 10 on most days, sometimes 9, but Marcey morning magic time is in the morning, and I am most productive, and I don't give those up for just regular meetings or coaching calls. Pretty much everything starts at 10, unless I'm doing a speaking engagement or something that we need to start at 9 or earlier. Then I check my Oura ring, like pretty much the first thing I do when I pop out of bed. I turn on my phone because I've had it in airplane mode all night. I turn on my phone. I swipe left. I turn off our security system because I have walked out the door way too many times and that thing gone off. Turn off my security system and then pop open my Oura Ring app, and I see how my numbers are trending and what kind of workout I can do that day. It tells me, I might need a rest day, or I need to do lighter activity, or it says, go for it. And what I like about the Oura Ring, it gives, it's a extremely accurate tracker. It's actually the way we got so much of our COVID data for asymptomatic people was their study that they did with UCSF. But I digress. Oura Ring, love that. And then I compare that to my 8 sleep data. 8 sleep is the number one thing I've done for my sleep. It is a mattress cover. It's a pod. You can also get a total mattress, but we just got the cover. And what is so amazing about it is that you can control the temperature. My husband has one side of the bed. I have the other side of the bed, and it will adjust the temperature through the night depending on what you're in, like deep sleep, REM sleep, that you need to wake up. It'll start to warm up. It is amazing. I love that so much. Then I work out for an hour every day, and I do movement opportunities and different things throughout the day, but an hour is my minimal effective dose. And sometimes I split it up, but most of the time I get the full hour done in the morning. If I'm riding my bike, later in the day, especially if it starts to get dark in the morning, then I'll do something in the morning. Every day for at least 5 years, I have done 100 kettlebell swings, 75 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, and 25 burpees. It takes me about 7 to 8 minutes, and that's my minimal effective dose. Now, when I'm traveling and I don't have access to a pull-up bar or a kettlebell, then I just do my push-ups and my burpees, but that's like my everyday routine. I mountain bike and run, but more often than not, I jump rope using the cross rope system, and I do a daily burn workout. I used to do Beachbody, but I like the Daily Burn better for filtering purposes. I like to be able to filter the workouts. I think it's easier with Daily Burn. I also just like the variety of people in the programs, all colors, all shapes, all sizes, all ages. So I think they do a better job there. Depending on my schedule for the day, I may do 20 to 40 minutes in my infrared sauna. I have a sunlight and sauna. Best investment I made in 2020. I like to do it at the end of my workday as a way to just kind of let it all go. And I do that on most days, but if I have to be somewhere in the evening or I get home past 6:30, I will do it in the morning, because if I do it too late, my core temperature is still too high and it affects my sleep. So no matter what, morning or evening, I'll do a self-hypnosis using hypnosisdownloads.com, or I do a meditation using calm.com in that sauna. And then if it's evening, I may also do a crossword puzzle or read. Then I take a shower if I've been in the sauna. If I'm waiting until the evening to do the sauna, I may just wash my face if I've done an indoor workout, because I don't sweat profusely indoors. But if I've done an outdoor workout, if I've run or ridden my bike or anything, in the North Carolina humidity, I will need to take a shower. I typically have one of two breakfasts, either a smoothie bowl, which consists of frozen spinach and berries, almond milk, chia seeds, protein powder, cacao nibs, and grain-free granola. I put this in a bowl because I make it really, really thick. And if I have this, it is the one breakfast that I'll eat at my desk, because it takes me about 30 minutes to eat the smoothie bowl. And it just feels weird to sit at the table and eat a smoothie. The other breakfast I'll have is a salad. And usually this is shredded cabbage. I just get like the slaw mix, but without the like dressing stuff. So just shredded cabbage or broccoli slaw or something like that. And I mix it with tahini and nutritional yeast, and then throw in some spicy pickle juice or balsamic vinegar. And then I'll have bone broth. I love Kettle and Fire turmeric ginger bone broth. I'll have that on the side, just in a mug. And I always ensure I get 20 to 30 grams of protein as my first meal to stabilize my blood sugar response. I also eat one Brazil nut. Yes, just one. Because they are super high in selenium. It's actually easy to overdose on them. So you don't want to eat like a handful of Brazil nuts like you might eat a handful of almonds. But they contain about 96 micrograms per nut of selenium. And if you are diabetic or you have Hashimoto's disease, I have Hashimoto's disease, then it's, selenium is something that you want to pay attention to. And that's why I eat one every day. Then I brush my teeth. I'll put on some makeup and I fix my hair. And I do this either before or after breakfast. I keep lipstick beside my desk to swipe on throughout the day. That is what helps make me feel presentable. I also have a Mario Badescu facial spray with chamomile, aloe, and lavender. And this was a gift from a friend, and I'm addicted to it. And I'll spritz my face with this throughout the day. It just makes me feel refreshed, and it also makes me feel fancy. At home, and if you're a guy, don't think that you can't spritz your face with rose water or aloe lavender water or something. It feels amazing. At home, I definitely just dress up from the chest up. I'm often in yoga or running tights, or I have these little knit circle skirts I bought years ago for like $10 a piece. I bought like 4 or 5 of them. And, but I have blazers and scarves nearby when I need to dress myself up a little for a Zoom call or a coaching call or for a meeting. I remember a couple of years ago, I did a workshop for a company, and I told them, I said, I have superhero tights on right now. And they kind of laughed. And I ended up taking a picture of myself, and I'm all dressed up on top, and I have superhero tights on the bottom, and I posted it on LinkedIn and tagged them. But I also always wear earrings or some kind of jewelry, and this just makes me feel presentable for my clients. I have an iced coffee at my desk in the summer and a hot coffee in the winter. In the summer, I brew a big pot of Ticino, which is a coffee alternative. Comes in several different flavors. I love the mint and the mocha. But I brew a big pot of Ticino on Sundays and I make iced cubes out of it. So then as my coffee melts, it still maintains a strong flavor. And I have a half Ticino and iced coffee concoction. So I'll fill my mug with half iced coffee or half coffee and half Ticino. In the winter, I'll do a half brew of each. I'll just brew it in the pot and do half Ticino, half coffee. And then sometimes I'll start or, bookend with tea. And the only tea I really love, I'm addicted to it, I buy it by the case on Amazon, is the Good Earth sweet and spicy tea. I'll have other teas if I have to, or if people buy them for me, but really, I really only care about the Good Earth. Then I write in my journal the 3 things I'm grateful for that morning, what I'll do to make today great, and today's mantra or driver. And I used the 5-minute journal for years, but recently created my own journal. So I have precisely the prompts that I want. And I have written my top 3 priorities from the night before already and what I'll complete in my first work block. So then that way I can just get right to it. And then after my first work block, which is anywhere from 50 to 90 minutes, my husband at that point is awake. He wakes up between 8 and 8:30 usually. And I will take a break to go and hug him. And we started this routine about a year ago, and I absolutely love it. It keeps him from interrupting my flow when he wakes up, because it was kind of a compromise. He would come in as soon as he woke up, and I would be, Marcey morning magic time. I would be right in the middle of, writing something or creating something. And it would feel like an interruption, and I didn't want it to feel that way. I mean, who doesn't want their husband to want to come and hug them first thing in the morning when they wake up? So instead, I take a break, and then I go out and we hug each other, we massage each other's back a little bit, and it keeps him from interrupting my flow. It gives me a nice break, and we get an oxytocin release in the morning. So that is it. The morning routine changes a little depending on the time of year, but that's pretty much my every morning. Oh, and if I'm with someone, like I'm staying with someone in a hotel or I'm staying at someone's house, I make it known, like, don't talk to me until I've worked out. Like, I don't, just if you see me up, you see me going to the kitchen, like pretend that I'm not there. If you're in a hotel room with me, don't even say good morning. I just let me at least get my workout in. And then I am good to go. I just need that little bit of time in the morning, and I make it very clear. I set the expectations, like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you until I've had my workout. Now, if you have a habit that you wish to start, think about how you can stack it with something you already do in the morning. It will give you a better success rate of completing it. Oh, and I don't check email or scroll on my phone in bed, because it's way too easy to get sucked in, and then you've wasted half your morning. I have clients who want to start an exercise habit, and they end up, being on their phone. They think for 2 minutes, it ends up being 10, 15, and then they never end up starting their exercise. My bed is for sexy time, sleeping, and maybe some Kindle reading. I don't want the internet, someone else's agenda, or the news between my sheets. Thank you for listening to the RaderCo Health Powered Productivity Podcast. Resources mentioned are linked in the show notes. We encourage you to check out our recommendations page on helloraderco.com/recommendations, where we list all of our favorite products and services. If you found this podcast valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know that could benefit. Many of our listeners use our podcast as discussion points for team meetings. If you want tailored team training or coaching, reach us at helloraderco.com.